All right, guys, this is hopefully going to be a kind of quick review of the study guide. So I really hope that all of you tried this on your own. It will help you more if you did that. So anyway, let's get started. All right, so the first problem, number one, we are reducing that. I'm trying to get used to using this pen in Microsoft Word, so you guys just bear with me, please. But anyway, so number one, 28 and 63, I'm trying to think of the numbers that I can divide 28 and 63 by. Well, I know it's not 2 because 3 is not even number. It's not 3 because 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 is not divisible by 3. That means 28 is not. But I do know that I can divide both of them by 7. So I'm going to divide both numbers by 7. So 28 divided by 7 is 4, and 63 divided by 7 is 9. 4 and 9 do not have common factors, and so that's my final answer, and that should be a 9. All right, so then number 2, I know I can divide both of those numbers by 2 because they're both even. I know I can divide both of those numbers by 4. I know I can divide both of those numbers by 8, so that's what I'm going to divide by. I'm going to divide them both by 8. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. And 56 divided by 4, I said it again, 56 divided by 8 is 7. And 4 and 7 do not have common factors, so that is the final answer. Number 3, we can multiply straight across, but on this particular problem, we can simplify up and down. So I can divide 3 by 3 and get 1. I can divide 9 by 3 and get 3. I can also divide 5 and 20 divided by 5, if I divide both by 5, I get 5 divided by 5 is 1, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So then if I multiply straight across, my final answer is 3 over 4. All right, and then number 4, you cannot multiply mixed numbers the way they're written. You have to turn them both into improper fractions. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So we're going to change 2 1/3 into 7/3. And then 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 2, 7/2. And now nothing simplifies, so we're going to multiply straight across, and we get 49 over 6. Well, 6 will go into 49 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. So if I subtract 48 from 49, I get 1, and my denominator is 6. So my final answer is 8 1/6. All right, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Number 5, it tells me to add, so I know that to add fractions, I have to have common denominators. So 7 won't go into 11. I can think of the the multiples of 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, and 77. So I'm going to change both denominators to 77. So what times 7 is 77? 11. So I'm going to multiply 7 and 2 both by 11, and I get 7 times 11 is 77. 11 times 2 is 22. How many times will 11 go into 7? 77, the answer is 7. So 7 times 3 is 21. So then I'm going to bring over my denominator. If I add 22 plus 21, I get 43. Now 43 is a prime number. It has no factors besides 1 in itself, and so I'm done. Number 6, I have to have common denominators. Well, 2 will go into 6, so we're going to change the first one to something over 6, and the second one won't change. So how many times will 2 go into 6? The number is 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. So now I'm going to simplify, or not simplify, but subtract. So 3 minus 1 is 2. My denominator stays the same. And then I can divide 2 and 6 both by 2. So my final answer is 1/3. All right, number 7, I'm going to divide. So how do you divide fractions? You keep it, change it, flip it. So I'm going to keep the first one, change it to multiplication, flip to 9/1, and then I multiply straight across. 5 times 9 is 45. 8 times 1 is 8. How many times will 8 go into 45? The answer is 5. 8 times 5 is 40, so that means there's 5 left over. So 5 and 5/8 is the final answer. Number 8, a student's tuition was $4,473. A loan was obtained for 6/7 of the tuition. How much was the loan? So we want to know how much what is 6/7 of 4,473. Let me start over on that one. Go away. All right. 4,473 times 6/7. So I'm going to make this a fraction. I don't know if 7 can be divided into that number, so we'll just multiply straight across. Actually, I tried on my calculator to see if I can divide 4,473 by 7, because that means I could simplify this before I multiply. So 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 4,473 divided by 7 is 639. So that means my denominator is just 1. So all I have to do now is multiply 639 times 6. And my final answer is 3,834. So the tuition was $4,473. Since we got a loan for 6/7 of that amount, that means our loan was $3,834. All right. Now, number 9, we are adding all 3 of these fractions. Well, we have to have common denominators. So 5 will go into 15, but 6 won't. So then I need to think of the multiples of 15. So the second multiple of 15 is 30, because 15 times 2 is 30. Well, I know that 5 will go into 30 and 6 will go into 30. So 30 is what we're going to use. So what times 5 is 30? The answer is 6. So 6 times 2 is 12. 15 times 2 is 30. So 2 times 1 is 2. And then 6 times 5 is 30. So I multiply the top number by 5. So 5 times 1 is 5. My denominator doesn't change. So I'm adding my numerator. 12 plus 5 is 17. 18, 19, 30ths is my final answer. All right. Number 10. Hopefully you guys have gotten these right so far. All right, number 10. Carlos has 4/5 of a tank of fuel in his car. So almost full, right? 4/5 out of 5/5. So almost full, but not quite. He uses 1/10 of a tank per day. How many days will his fuel last? So basically, we're figuring out if he has 4/5 of a tank of gas and he uses 1/5 per day, we have to divide 4/5 by 1/10 to figure out how many days he will be able to drive without putting gas in his car. So then this is a division problem. So we're going to keep it, change it, flip it. Well, 4 and 1 can't be simplified, but 5 and 10 can. I can divide 5 and 10 both by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. My denominator is now at 1. So now all I have to do is multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8/1 is 8. All right, moving right along. Number 11, write the decimal, 13 and, so remember that word and always means that's your decimal. 13 and 33 hundredths. Well, remember your last digit has to be in the place of whatever place they give you here. So 33 hundredths, tenths, hundreds. So my last number has to be in the hundreds place. So that's how I write this number, 13 and 33 hundredths. Number 12, we're writing 260. And, so I know the and goes behind the 60. So 260 and 7 thousandths. So I need the 7 and the thousandths place. So this is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. 260 and 7 thousandths. That's how you write that number. Round to the nearest dollar. Well, the 9 right here is in the ones place. Well, that ones place is the dollar place, right? The other 9 would be in the $10 place. So anyway, what does a 6 do to a 9? It turns it into a 10, carry the 1, 10, carry the 1. So if you have 2 9s, you have to carry the 1. Rounded to the nearest dollar is $300, which makes sense, right? $200, $299.64 is almost $300. Now we're going to round to the nearest cent. So which number is in the cents place? Well, the 8 is in the cents place. So you have to look at the number to the right of the 8, which is a 9. So what does a 9 do to an 8? It turns it into a 9. So rounded to the nearest cent is $23.49. $23.49. So number 15, the sales tax in a certain state is 6%. Find the total price paid for a pair of shoes that cost 48 cents. Well, not 48 cents, silly, $48. So we want to know what is 6% of 48. So I'm going to turn 6% into a decimal, which is 0.06. I'm going to multiply. 6 times 8 is 48. Carry the 4. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 is 28. And then I have 2 digits behind my decimal, 1, 2. So my sales tax is $2.88, but it wants the total price of the shoes. So I got to pay for the shoes, and then I add the sales tax. So 10, carry the 1. The price I have to pay at the cash register is $50.88. That's my final answer. All right, number 16, Katie sold 195 chocolate bars. 40% of them had coconut. How many chocolate bars had coconut? So basically we want to know what is 40% of 150. So, or 150. Guys, I'm crazy. 195. So I want to know what is 40%. So I'm going to turn 40% into a decimal. So 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 is 38. Carry the 3. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And then I have 1 number behind the decimal. So the answer is that 78 have coconut. All righty. Go to the next page. All right, Jane's monthly gross pay. Now, gross pay is your amount of money that you make before you pay any taxes or anything else. So her monthly pay is $3,014.74. So then it says they have all of these deductions. So we want to add up all of our deductions, right? We want to add up our federal tax, state tax, savings plans, insurance, and FICA. So she pays all of those taxes. So I'm going to go ahead and my calculator, I'm adding together all my taxes. $450.69 plus $24 plus $244.38 plus $112.57 plus $233.16. That's a lot of tax. She's paying not just tax, but other things as well. So she's paying $1,064.80 of her paycheck and on all of these things, tax and insurance. And then we have to take that out of her gross check, which is $3,014.74. So we're going to subtract. So 4 minus 0 is 4. We got to turn this into a 17, 13, 10, 9, and 2. All right, so 17 minus 9 is, 8 is 9. Bring down my decimal. 13 minus 4 is 9. 10 minus 6 is 4. That's a 9, and then that's a 1. So out of her paycheck, no, is it? Yeah. So $1,949.94 is what she has left. Almost $200. Not quite. All right, so number 18, a coat regularly sells for $46.85 and is advertised at 25% off. Find the sales price to the nearest cent. So if they take off 25%, what percent of the price will we pay? Well, if we start out with 100% and we take away 25%, that means we're going to pay 75% of the cost. So we want to know what is 75% of $46.85. I don't have enough room, so I'm just going to use my calculator. 46.85 times 0.75 is 35.1375. Now, what's wrong with my answer? It says round to the nearest penny. So that means it's about $35 and what? 14 cents. So hopefully you guys got the same answer. All right, I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. Number 19, Tom makes $298.80 in 6 days. The question is, how much does he make in 2 days? Well, there's several ways we could do this. We could divide 298.8. We could divide it by 6, and that'll tell us how much money he makes per day. And then we can multiply that number by 2. That'll work. Or we could do a proportion. So we want to know, so in 6 days, he makes $298.80. And we want to know how much he makes in 2 days. So I got my days together and my money together. So I could think of this question mark as an X, and I could cross multiply and then divide, right? So I'm going to multiply 298.8 times 2, and that is 597.6 is equal to 6x. And then I could divide both sides by 6. And my answer is that he makes $99.60. So either making a proportion or dividing 298.8 by 6 and then multiplying by 2, I'm going to get the same answer. Okay, so however you want to do that. Now, number 20 kind of goes along with the number 18, except now it tells us what the sale price is. We want to know what is the original price, right? So the sale price is $28. Now, we know that's the sale price because it tells us that those jeans were on sale, or those pants were on sale, and it asks us the original price. So think about it, guys. We had an original price, which was 100% of the price, and we took off 30% of it, right? Which means that $28 is 70% of the original price, okay? If you have an original price and you have a sale, you subtract the percentage from 100, and that tells you what percent of the original price you're going to pay. So basically, I'm going to do the proportion, the is over of proportion, remember that? Equals percent over 100. So my question is, what is, or I should say, $28 is 70% of what price? $28 is 70% of what price? So that means our denominator is missing, right? The original. So of is our X. $28 is 70% of what price? And remember, percent always goes over 100. Now, where do we get that 70%? Because it says 30%. If they take 30% off of anything, what you have left is 70%. So now we're going to cross multiply and divide. 28 times 100 is 2800. 70 times x is 70x. So that tells us we're going to divide both sides by 70. And 2800 divided by 70 is 40. The original price is $40. They took off 30%, and that left us with a sale price of $28. All right, I'm going to erase all of this stuff because I've gone into, well, I thought I was, there we go. I've gone into the other parts of my paper. So let me get rid of it. All right, anyway, moving on. If you have any questions, we're having a collaborate meeting at 8 o'clock. So bring your questions. Bring your questions at 8 o'clock, okay, guys? All right, so now number 21, it says, which has the lower unit price? Brand A or brand B? Well, the only way of knowing that, and also another way of asking that question is, which is the better buy? So you want to know which one's cheaper. So you always divide your price by the quantity, price by the quantity. So brand A is 0.556 cents, and I went ahead and went to the thousands place because sometimes that will help us get the right answer. $1.95 divided by 4 is 0.487. So which one is the better buy? Which one has the lower unit price? The answer is brand B. Brand B. All right, number 22, solve the proportion. I can cross multiply. 12 times 8 is 48, and I can divide that by 16. Or this one's an easy one because 8 goes into 16 2 times, right? Times 2. So basically, I want to know what number times 2 is 12. What number times 2 is 12? That means that x is equal to 6. 8 sixths is equal to 12, 16 twelfths. Now 23 isn't as easy to do in my head, although I do know that 0.3 goes into 0.12, 0.4 times. But let's pretend we don't know that for a second. So let's cross multiply. 1 times 0.12 is 0.12. 0.3 times x is 0.3x. And then we're going to divide by what's on the side with the variable, which is 0.3. So 0.12 divided by 0.3 is 0.4. So x is equal to 0.4. Number 24, a bus travels 90 miles on 6 gallons of gas. It could say at this rate, at the same rate, how many gallons would it need to travel 165 miles? So we could divide 90 by 6 and we would figure out how many miles per gallon. Or since we have, since we've learned about proportions, we can set a proportion, excuse me. So we have 90 miles in 6 gallons. This thing just hates 9s. It hates my 9s. That sounded such a hick just now. So I want to know 165 miles. Well, miles is on the top of the first one, so I got to put miles on the top of the second one. And I don't know gallons. That's my question. So I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to do 90 times, 90 times x is 90x, obviously. 90x is equal to 165.6. 165.6 is 990. I'm going to divide both sides by 90. So x is equal to 11. So how many gallons will it need? The answer is 11 gallons. All right, on number 25, I'm going to change, let's see, I like purple. So 25, 3/20ths is equal to what percent? 3/20ths. So I can divide the top by the bottom. So 3, I'll just do my calculator. 3 divided by 20 is 0.15. So 0.15, that's my decimal. And then I'm going to convert my decimal to a percent by multiplying by 100. And my answer is 15%. So 26 is already a decimal. So to turn decimals into percents, you multiply by 100, or in other words, you move your decimal 2 places to the right. So 0.4 is 40%. And then number 27, I see is, I see of, and I see a percent. So we're going to do the is over of equals percent over 100 again. So I see 75 is 40%, percent always goes over 100, of what number? Of what number? So I'm going to cross multiply. 75 times 100 is 7,500. 40 times x is 40x. So it tells me I'm going to divide both sides by 40. And 7,500 divided by 40 is 7,500 is, let's see, 187.5. Is that what y'all have? Is number 27? I had 30. Well, that can't be right. 75 is 40% of what number? So I have 187.5. Now, is there any way to check my answer? Yes, I could multiply 187.5 times 0.4, and sure enough, it's 75, so I know that's right. So when I did this problem earlier, I don't know what I did. I ended up with a 30, but that's not right. So anyway, that's the right answer, 187.5. All right, so number 28, convert 48% to a fraction. Well, 48% as a decimal is equal to 0.48, right? If you move your decimal up 2 places. And this number, 48 hundredths would be my fraction, but then I have to, simplify it. So I can divide 48 and 100 both by 4. So if I divide them both by 4, I know 100 divided by 4 is 25, and 48 divided by 4 is 12. And so that's the final answer, 12/25. Number 29, I'm going to cross multiply. 52 times 3 is 156. 156 is equal to 4 times n is 4n. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So 156 divided by 4 is 39. 39. All right, number 30. Which are these the same rate? So remember, you always divide money by quantity. So first of all, I'm going to divide 0.48 by 16, and that gives me, the first one is 0.03, and then $2.70 divided by 90 ounces is also 0.03. So the answer is yes, these are the same rate. Number 31, we have an original price and it has a discount of 10% off. So if you take 10% off of anything, what percent is left? The answer is 90%. So I want to know what is 90% of 299.9. So I'm going to multiply by 0.90. So 299.99, whoops, that should be a 9, times 0.90 is $269.99. So the amount of discount is, oh shoot, I should have multiplied by 0.10 to figure out what my discount price is. I'm sorry. 299.99 times 10%. 299.99 times 0.1 is $29.99, or actually is 29.999, and I need to round to the nearest penny. So rounding to the nearest penny, my 9s are all going to turn into 10s, carry the 1, carry the 1, carry the 1. So the amount of discount is $30. And then my sale price is going to be $269.99. So $30 off $299 is $269. So I didn't read that carefully enough, but that's the answer. All right, number 32, the median height for females who are 20 to 29 years old, ooh, I don't know what that's supposed to say old, my bad, is about 166 meters. Convert this height to centimeters and millimeters. All right, so remember we did that King Henry died while, this is our unit column, units, drinking chocolate milk. All right, so meters would go in our middle column for our units. So from this column to centimeters, I would go to the right 2 places. So from here to 1, 2, I would move my decimal 2 places to the right. So 1.66 meters is equal to 166 centimeters. Whoops. And then to get to millimeters, I'd have to go to 1 more place to the right. 1, 2, 3. So 1.66 meters is equal to 1,660 millimeters. So you guys are going to have to remember that King Henry died, and then your units column, drinking chocolate milk. All right. Now going from, American Standard measurement to metric system, I wouldn't expect you to memorize those conversions. So hopefully you're going to be given a chart like this. I'm sure of it, because I don't think you're not going to be asked to memorize these conversions. So if you're going to something like feet to meters, here we go, right here. 1 meter is about 3.28 feet. So what if I had 16 feet? Well, I'm going to divide 16 by 3.28, and that would give me about, it says round to the 10th place, it would give me about 4.87 would be 4.9 meters. 4.9 meters. 4.9 meters. All right, number 34, convert pints to cups and cups to gallons. Now these you should know because this is what we use in the United States. Let's see, there are 2 cups for every pint, right? For every 2 pints, you have a quart. For 4 quarts, you have a gallon. So basically, you have 16 cups in a gallon. So if you're not familiar with those, you kind of need to study that, because I don't think you'll be given, for English or American standards, you probably won't be given any kind of chart for those, only for the ones that go from standard to metric. All right, so since there are 2 cups for every pint, if you had 6 pints, 6 times 2 is 12. You have 12 cups. So then if there are 16 cups in a gallon, and there's 2 cups for every 6 pints, no, there's 2 cups for every pint, and we have, let's see, how many pints would be in a gallon? So I know there's 16 cups, so there are 8 pints per gallon, right? So if it's 8 pints for 1 gallon, 6 pints out of 8 is going to give us, divide both of those by 2, 3/4 of a gallon, or 0.75. That's 3/4 of a gallon, or 0.75 parts of a gallon. Okay. So the American Standard ones, you're gonna just have to remember those. All right, number 35, Sam has 12 glasses with water. Each glass held 240 milliliters. How many liters of water is there in all? So first thing we got to do is figure out how many milliliters are in all 12 glasses. So we're going to multiply 240 times 12. So that means we have 2,880 milliliters. And we need to go back from milliliters to liters. So King Henry died, units, drinking chocolate milk. So remember, milla is that really small one down here. So we're going from this column up, or back, I should say, to liters. 1, 2, 3. So we're moving our decimal 3 places to the left. So if we start here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So 2,880 milliliters is equal to 2.88 liters. So 35 is 2.88. 37. Number 37, we have a triangle sitting on top of a rectangle. Find the area. So the first thing we want to do is find the area of the rectangle first. So we multiply base times height. And I got 45. So this is 45 feet squared. And then remember, a triangle, the area is half the base times the height. So we're going to do half the base. So if this is 6 feet, this top one is 6 feet. Okay, so this is 6 feet because these are going to be the same length. So we're going to do half of 6 times the height. That tells us the height is 4. Well, of course, 6 times 4 is 24, and half of 24 is 12. So the area of the triangle is 12, the area of the rectangle is 45, which tells us that our combined area is 57 square feet. 57 square feet. All righty. Number 38, let me bring this down a little bit. Number 38, find the area of a circle with radius of 5. So remember, the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Tells us to use 3.14 for pi. So we're going to multiply 3.14 times our radius squared. So 5 squared is 25, and 25 times 3.14 is 78.5 feet squared. Pull this down. Number 39. Number 39, a circle has a circumference of 81.6. So remember our formula. So the circumference of a circle is pi times diameter. What is the radius of the circle? So the radius is half the diameter, right? Half of the diameter. So we need to remember that when we, before we get our final answer. So since it gives us our circumference, we're going to exchange that C for 81.6 equal to, do we know pi? Yep, 3.14 times diameter. We don't know the diameter. So how do we solve for D? We solve for D by dividing both sides by 3.14. So 81.6 divided by 3.14 is round to the nearest ones place. So we have round to the nearest one place. The diameter is about 26. Well, the radius, so the diameter is the length across the whole circle. We want to know half of that. So the radius is 13 feet. 13 feet. Number 40, the area and the perimeter. So the area is simply our length times the height, or length times width. So 9 times 4 is 36 yards. And then the perimeter is, I have 2 sides that's 9 and 2 sides that's 4. So I'm going to do 18 plus 8. So 18 plus 8 is 26 yards. 26 yards. 41, find the volume of a cylinder with a radius of 4.8 and a height of 8.9. So the volume of a cylinder is the base, the area of the base will be, is a circle, right? Pi times radius squared, pi r squared, and then its volume, which means it has one more dimension, and that dimension is height. So we're going to find the area of the base. So the area of the base is 3.14 times 4.8 squared. So 3.14 times 4.8 squared is 72.3456. And then we're multiplying that by the height of 8.9. So 72.3456 times 8.9. Now I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. So I have 643.88. And this is volume. So that would be, are we using centimeters? Centimeters cubed, because there's 3 dimensions. So 643 point, oh, the 10th, I'm sorry, that should be a 0.9. Rounded to the nearest 10th. I need to read my own directions. 9. This thing hates 9s. Why does it always have to be a 9? All right, number 42. Which of these angles is acute? A cute little angle. So that would be letter A. So B would be a right angle, and C would be a big old obtuse angle. All right, so then number 43, how many CDs sold in chain store B in 1994? So you look at the key, the red one is chain store B, and we want to find 1994, so we're going right here. So what is this measurement? Well, here's 1,000, here's 2,000, so halfway in between would be 1,500. But if you look at the directions, it says in thousands. So you got to think of this as 1,500 thousands, right? 1,500 thousands. Well, that 0 is in the thousands place, which means we have to add 3 more zeros. So 1,500 thousands is the same as 1.5 million, or 1,500,000 CDs. All right. So make sure you read your key or whatever, your conversions. Number 44. Oh, look, we're almost done. Got 2 more. All right, so find the grade point average for students earning the following grades. Assume that an A is worth 4 points, B is worth 3 points, C is worth 2 points, and a D is worth 1 point. All right, so if he took a class that was worth 5 credit hours, and for every credit hour, a B is worth 3 points, then 5 times 3 is 15. And then in his C class, let's see, C's are worth 2 points. So that was a 3 credit hour. So we're going to multiply 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And then he got an A, but that's great, but it was only a 2-hour class. So we're going to multiply 4 times 2 and get 8. And then a D, thankfully it was only a 1 credit class. So 1 times 1 is 1. And then finally, his class that counted the most, he got a C in. Whoopsie. So 2 times 6 is 12. So this is our total points, but then we have to divide them by the total number of credits. So we're going to add 15 plus 6. So let me just do that in my calculator so I won't make a mistake. 15 plus 6 plus 8 plus 13. 12 plus 1 is 13. So 42 points divided by our credit hours. So 5 plus 3 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're going to divide 42 points by 17 credit hours, except I wrote a 14. I don't know why. So 42 divided by 17 is, he has a GPA right now of about 2.5, 2.47 or 2.5. His GPA is 2.5. So that's the one about weighted, that would be weighted means, because these grades are worth a different number of points. But so the final answer, anyway, the final answer is 2.5 or 2.47. And then the last one is just number of months. This is just the total number of months. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So we're going to end up dividing by 5. So we're going to add up all those numbers, 1.3 plus 2.4 plus 3.1 plus 7.1 plus 5, whoops, 5.3, and I got 19.2. So 19.2 divided by 5, it goes in there 3 times. 0.8, times 8 is 40, and then 5 into 20 is 4. So the average amount of rain per month was 3.84 inches. 3.84 inches. All right, guys, so that's your review. I hope you guys did well. We'll have a quick collaborate check-in meeting at 8 o'clock, and then I won't see you anymore because on Wednesday, all you're doing is taking your final exam because this was your review tonight. I've enjoyed the class so much. I'll get to talk to y'all tonight because it's just Monday afternoon right now. But anyway, I have enjoyed the summer. Most of you have done so well with this online math class, and I'm proud of you guys. And I wish we got to see each other in person, but maybe next semester I'll run into you on campus, and and make sure you say hey. I got to see your faces. I mean, you saw my faces, but I didn't get to see your faces very often, so I may not recognize you, but stop me, please, if you see me. So y'all have a great fall semester. I will see you later. Bye.